Okay, year 7. So we're going to look at some more area stuff. So this time we're going to look at the area of a parallelogram, okay? You'll have to excuse my terrible writing. I'm still getting used to this thing. Area of a parallelogram. Okay, so hopefully you remember what a parallelogram is. It looks sort of like this. Remember that shape? But pretend those lines are straight. Okay, so what we're going to do is, whoa, why did it do that? Okay, we're going to draw a line straight down, and if this is, oh, stop doing that. If this is a right angle, I think I'm bumping the button. Okay, we're gonna call this the height, okay? So the base is always along the bottom, that's fairly self-explanatory, but the height needs to be straight up and down. It can't be one of these curved sides, well, not curved, but diagonal sides, okay? It has to be one of the straight up and down ones. So we're gonna say that the area equals height times base, or base times height, whatever you like, okay? So the height times the base. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what that is. So let's say we had, here's an example. Whoa, it's a very wonky example. Okay, so let's say that this was 7 meters, and let's say that this was 12.5 meters, okay? So the area is just the two of them times together. 12.5, which is, you can use your calculators for this, it's 87.5, okay? Meters. Now remember, because we're working in area, we have to put our little squared up the top. So it's 87.5 meters squared because we're talking about area, okay? Also, we're going to look at some triangles. So triangles, so the area of triangle is simply half of that. Okay, so the area equals half times base times height, okay? We should have already done this, so hopefully we remember this. So there are two different ways we could draw a triangle. Let's say we have it given like that. They're going to have to give us, this is a dotted line, pretend that's a dotted line and that's a right angle. So they'd have to give us one like this. So let's say the base was 6 and the height was 4. We'll make these centimeters this time, centimeters. So the area is half times 4 times 6, okay? So that's all we have to do, which is 12 centimeters, and don't forget your little squared, okay? Now let's say if we have a triangle like this, and it's already got a right angle in it, well, we can just use the height that's given. So let's call this one 7 millimeters, and let's call this one 7 millimeters as well. Okay, so the area is just half times the base, which is 7, times the height, which is also 7. So the area is 24.5 millimeters, and don't forget your squared, okay? So this is an easy way to do your height, your area of a triangle and a parallelogram. They're mostly the same, but just for a triangle, don't forget that you have to put in the half for a triangle, because really a triangle is sort of half the size of a parallelogram, so that works quite well. Now let's turn the page. I can't even find where my pen is. Oh, there it is. All right, so let's turn the page and let's have a go at doing volume, okay? So volume is a little bit different. When we've been talking about area, we've been talking about 2D shapes. They're just flat shapes on the page. Volume is about, oops, I have a message, that's my phone. So volume is about 3D shapes, okay? So we're going to talk about the volume of a cube or a rectangular prism. So a rectangular prism is a fancy way, hang on, I can't talk and spell at the same time, rectangular prism. Okay, so a rectangular prism is really just a fancy way of saying a 3D rectangle, okay? So let's have it, oh, hang on. First of all, let's actually write down what it is. Sorry, rub that out. Okay, so the volume is length times width times height, because we've got a third thing this time, because we have 3 dimensions, okay? There's 2 dimensions when we're talking about a flat object, 3 dimensions when we're talking about a 3D object, okay? Another way to write this is the area of the base. So once we've figured out the area of the 2D part of it, we can just times it by the height. Either way, it's the same thing. You will get the same answer. It really just means the same thing, okay? So let's have a go at doing an example. So if we had a cube, gosh, messiest cube ever. Okay, pretend that's a nice looking cube. And they're all 5 meters. And 5 meters along there. Okay, so the volume is just 5 times 5 times 5, okay, which is 125 meters. And this time we're working with volume. We're working in 3 dimensions. So we say it's cubed. Before we had a little squared there because it was a 2D object. This time we've got a 3 there because it's a 3D object, okay? So it's 125 meters cubed. Let's have another go. Let's do another example, but this time we'll do a rectangular prism. All right, so we'll just draw our little rectangle. Oh, I've got another message. Shut up, phone. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to label this. So let's call this one 7 meters. This one can be 4 meters, and let's call this one 2 meters. All right, so same thing. We just multiply them all together. So 2 times 4 times 7. So what do we get all up? It's 56. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. Now we've got meters and it's cubed because we're doing volume this time, okay? And that's all there is to it. You just multiply all the things together and you end up with the volume. Hope that helps.